You already know what it is. Your boy Banz alongside Cristina. We are the Spark Up Podcast. Episode 112?
112. Episode... oh my gosh. Episode 112.
Wow.
And we are having a grand old time today because Banz can't be serious for longer than 2 minutes here. What's going on, Banz? What did you do today?
I did a lot of things, but it was really nothing other than just run around and like, you know,
really, nigga,
be here for like 10 minutes because I promised people I was going to be there, and then I had to move to the next and like, you know, just
That's
bouncing.
funny because I saw your car at home.
I wasn't
really, nigga,
in my car.
Wow. Okay. So let's just get right into the banter here because you're already acting up and I don't want, this is none of my business. I don't want to do this with you today.
Why are you trying to blow my spot? Like I was home chilling.
Listen, I mean,
I was home chilling for a little bit.
It's none of my business. It's none of my business. Okay. I have a question for you.
Right.
So I got in trouble for this question.
Okay.
A bunch of people damn near basically called me a sexist, I feel like. But I asked the question. Mm-hmm. The question is, if you are in a relationship, a serious committed relationship.
Okay.
And
I don't like where this is going already.
And wifey.
Now I got a wifey.
Yeah. Is she's twerking in the club. And it's fine, right? She could twerk. She could do whatever she wants with her ass. Okay. It's her ass. She can shake it if she wants to, you know. Girl, you look good. Why don't you back that ass up? Like, it's religious. It's like religion to, like, you know, do what you got to do when that song comes on.
Be careful how you use that.
But how would you feel if she puts that kind of footage on social media?
Hey, I'm all for it. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
Maybe I'm too progressive. Yo, long let me just say, long as she like, some girls are making bucks off that. Like,
period.
Who am I to stop their grind?
Okay, so
you know that's the equivalent.
But what if she's not making money? What if she's just doing it?
Well, if you're doing it for free, you know,
you're not worried about the thirsties.
I mean, you're inviting them, so.
Oh, where are the gunshots?
I mean, I'm just being real. Like, if you're inviting people to your doorstep, like, you can't complain about who comes and says whatever they want. And
that's where I stand with it because I'm like, you know, I mean, some people will say this is insecure, but for me, if that is, I'm going to try to come off as least fuckboy as possible. Okay.
Uh-oh. Don't get yourself in trouble.
But if that is the ass that I've been partaking in, I don't want that ass for other people to see. Is that wrong? Is
You're
that
being
like,
greedy?
What's wrong with that? I just see it like this.
If
like,
eyes can see, but hands don't touch, that's fine with me.
But this is how I see it. If a woman is on social media, she can ask frequently, and she's out with her friends, and I get it, she's having a good old time. But I think as men, I mean, and I've been through this experience on both sides of the fences, you feel like that girl is open, like she's ready, like she's on sale, she's on the sale rack.
No, not always.
No?
Not always.
That's interesting.
I mean, I follow some girls that I'd be like.
But when you see videos of that, what do you think? What goes through your head?
What doesn't go through my head?
And that's my point there.
But that's my imagination. Long as I'm not touching or being extra thirsty, like, yo. But what if that was your girl out there? That's for me in the taking.
But what if that was your girl out there?
You see, the thing is, it's the people that are reaching out that are fucked up in reality. Because, perfect, you know, she could be putting that on up, but
you don't care.
It's not your business to go and say,
you don't care how crazy
that's for
she
me
looks?
For the taking. I'm gonna take that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not real talk. Because if you think about it, if it was your girl and some dude was sliding into her DMs like that,
I'm gonna be very angry.
You're gonna be very angry. So, like, you know, people don't think about that when they.
But that's what I feel like.
Things.
It's an open invitation. I feel like. Am I wrong?
Yes, you can't be mad at what comes with, but. If it's about trust at the end of the day, for me, you know, the trust is key for me.
Okay.
I trust you once, never twice. So if you burn that bridge, you burned it yourself. Because I don't put that.
You here to talk that talk today? Wow, I'm
always
all
talking
the
that talk.
Okay.
I mean, that's why people call me Wise Banz.
Okay, all right.
Take my title that you're the wiser one. That's why they call me
You know what?
Banz the Wise.
I feel like you're getting carried away, so let's just jump right into some culture shock. So if you don't know, if you never heard the Spark Up podcast, we talk some shit about celebrities and what's going out there in the world. So I introduced to you the culture shock.
This is the latest dispatch just received in our newsroom.
So this past weekend, Club Liv in Miami, Florida, the very popular strip club, is open again as of Sunday, I believe, which is their most popular day. As of today, the city of Miami has 2.2 million cases since the start of the Panasonic. And just this past Sunday, yes, the Miami Herald announced 4,671 cases. And Saturday, they reported 7,411 cases. And what do? Open up the most popular strip club in the country. So I guess that it's safe to say that ass shaking and making it rain is more important than help. Are you hitting up Liv? Are you going to Miami? I heard the trips are $75 round trip.
I'm about to be vaxxed, so I'm about to be out here.
Oh my God.
I'm being real with you. After I'm vaccinated, I'm out here.
He's waxed and vaxxed, baby. You're going to be hitting the clubs again?
I'm not going to be hitting the clubs like that, but, you know.
You're outside?
I'm outside.
Okay.
Ain't nothing stopping me, mask off and all. You know, I respect people, so I'll throw it on.
You know, you still have to be safe, even with the vaccine.
I'm gonna be safe. Right? Yes, I'm gonna be safe, but you know, I'm not gonna be so thing about my mask. And when people ask,
what's
like,
thing? Every Dominican,
I'm not gonna be so antsy about it.
It's very interesting.
but I will respect other people's space.
Okay.
So that's the key. Like, it's not just about me. I understand that part. All right. So I'm not gonna make it about me, but I mean, strippers need to eat too.
Okay.
About the Club Liv, I just wanted to throw that in there. You know, I'm on their side. They've been off for almost a year. If they haven't gotten any money on,
you don't think they're out here getting sneaky money? You don't think there's clubs that are open underground?
Of course. You
didn't see Paul Pierce? He hired a bunch of strippers.
He brought them to the crib.
You bought them to
I would have done. I would do.
Were they vaxxed and waxed?
I don't care at that point. They're in my crib.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
that's
I mean,
nasty.
there's not too many. There's not too many.
So you don't care about life, is what you're telling me?
I do, but
I don't.
You know, I don't
believe you.
I like to live a little on the edge too.
Oh.
You know, I'm just saying.
Wow.
You know, if you feel a certain way about the pandemic, just stay inside.
Right, and that's exactly my point. You don't feel a way about the pandemic, is what you're saying.
I do.
You don't.
I do. It's dwindled over the year.
It's dwindled. Wow.
You know, I'm just being honest. You know, I don't want to be someone that comes off as disingenuous or.
No, you're coming off very genuine right now.
Always. You know, my thing is that, you know, after, man, my vaccination's a few days off and away.
You already got your second shot?
I'm about to get my second shot. So.
You know, you have to wait a few weeks for it to be like in effect.
Yeah, I can wait those 2 weeks, but
I said few, not two.
Well, I've been told it's 2 weeks after the.
And you think it's gonna be safe?
I'm gonna be out here.
Wow. All right. Well,
I'm being honest with you. It's time to work. I'm trying to get this paper.
What does that have to do with being in the clubs? Drinking.
A lot of the work that I do is around clubs.
That's not true. You're a liar.
I'm a photographer.
You're a liar. I've never seen you in the club working. Now all of a sudden you want to be in the club. Wow.
I'm gonna be out there.
Wow. All right, let's move on. This is just a quick announcement. We don't really have to have much feedback, but I have to represent for my LGBTQ plus community. New Jersey adds the X gender marker on driver's license and other state identification. Give it up for Jersey, joining DC, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois, Hawaii, and the list goes on. There's about 10 to 15 states that already have passed this law. So in these places, you no longer are forced to choose male or female. So this obviously helps those who are non-binary. Shout out to all my non-binary. Shout out to the they, them, right? That's them, right? Okay. Let's move forward before I sound crazy. So, Chet Bigot Hanks, you know who that is? The bigot? Tom Hanks' son?
Yeah.
Jamaican wannabe? Culture appropriator?
I mean,
it is what it is. It's fine. You don't have to agree. We already know where you stand with it. Don't make me bring it up, please.
Yeah, you can bring it up.
Chet Bigot Hanks might be onto something with the white boy summer thing because he's been trying to make that a trend, and I feel like he's onto something. So it's been said that Black America's favorite white boys are joining forces. Can you give it a guess? Who are Black America's 2 favorite white boys?
Justin Bieber.
That's one.
And right now, Jack Harlow.
No, but I'll give you a ding anyway because I like that white boy. But no. So it's been said.
Don't tell me Eminem.
No.
I'll literally walk off set.
I'll give you a ding for that one too, but that's not it.
I'll walk off set if you say Eminem is trying to promote White Boy Summer.
DJ Khaled's new album, Khaled Khaled, is coming out soon. And Justin Timberlake and Justin Bieber are collaborating for this album. Wow. Cool. You not
Big ups to them.
Okay.
Hey, I'm all for it. You know, live your truth. White Boy Summer. Go ahead.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, and I might get my black card revoked for this, but I am really excited for this. I'm a fan of I'm a believer.
Are people mad about this happening?
Yeah, there's been like the conversation.
I'm like this
you're genuinely asking. Yeah.
I'm
gonna fill you in. Don't you worry. So Justin Timberlake, you know how like he snatched Janet Jackson's shirt back at the Super Bowl and her titty popped out. So the rumor is that like he never apologized to her. They never talked about it. And Britney Spears had a documentary on Hulu that talked about like basically she's like under surveillance for her money and her career by her dad. And she talked about the situation with Justin and how Justin took advantage of her like innocent image and like basically made a whole career off of it, which if you look at it, Justin Timberlake was very popular when he came out solo. And then the whole Janet Jackson thing. So the black community was like, let's cancel Justin Timberlake because he don't give a fuck about women. So he's been kind of in hot water with folks. So I don't know how people will
really. I thought he was off the hook when he did the Single Ladies dance with.
That was a mad long ago.
I mean, but the Super Bowl was even longer.
That's true, but you know people don't forget.
Back then, like
you know, people pull up receipts.
I don't forget nothing. So
and neither do they.
You know, I'm calling bluff on that. Like, y'all need to relax a little bit. Like, not everything is.
He also got caught cheating on his wife. You agree with that too?
I don't agree with it, but we can't crucify everybody for their wrongs. So you
separate the artist from the music?
No, this is not what I'm saying.
So you listen to R. Kelly?
There's this. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna lie. You know, "Step in the Name of Love" was amazing, and if it comes, I'm stepping in. If somebody plays it, I'm stepping in the name of love, and that's what it is.
I just want to share this really quick because we recorded an episode that will not see the day of light for reasons we don't have to disclose. And literally, Joe Budden said the same thing you did. He was talking about stepping in the name of love. And I don't know how comfortable I am with that. I'm going to be honest with you.
Look, the thing is that step in the name of love has nothing to do. Yeah, it's by a disgusting person. But how can you not listen to that song when it plays?
I have a question for you. Joe Budden said that he would remake it. Would you listen to the Joe Budden cover of "Step in the Name of Love"?
Hell no. Hey, no offense, Joe, but you know,
not for you.
It's not for me. Not for me. Not for me, dog. Take a seat on that one. I mean, I could hear it from somebody else. I'm cool with that.
No,
but not Joe Budden.
That's fair.
I mean,
you can't sing.
Who would you put in that seat?
Trey Songz.
No.
Oh, another fuck
absolutely
boy.
not.
I don't know. Trey Songz is a trash guy too.
Love his music, but I wouldn't put him in that seat.
So you're gonna step into the name of Love by R. Kelly forever, is what you're saying. That's not off the table for you.
I would like to see somebody with real good vocals on that song.
Trey Songz could sing his ass off. And he kind of even sounds like R. Kelly.
No. Not for me. Not Trey Songz.
Okay, that's fine. All right, let's move on. Charlamagne recently said that Academics has a podcast deal coming up with Spotify.
I heard about this.
You become a prisoner to just who's on Spotify. Now, if
I don't agree with that.
Have not been hiding under a rock, you know that Academics has created an audience, and he, worked his way from the bottom up on Twitch. He talks a lot of shit about people. He starts drama. He starts rumors. He festers rumors. He does a lot of. He's kind of like the male version of Wendy Williams.
Exactly. I can't hate on his game. Would you
go to Spotify if Spotify called up right now?
Money talks.
Wow, you're selling your soul?
I'm not selling my soul, but if they offer a good deal, we're going.
So what do you say to someone like Joe Budden that left Spotify?
Different. He grew out of the deal. They wasn't offering what he was expecting for it anymore. So at that point, once you're bigger than Spotify, you don't need Spotify. So why do I need you to put out my work?
But now that he is on his own, like creating his own, well, has created his own network and is working out of YouTube, but now lost his two co-hosts, Maul and Rory. What do you think about that?
Everybody's replaceable. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
No matter what position.
You're going to replace me if I'm out?
If you choose to be out,
you can't do
by
this
choice, you're getting replaced.
Wow.
And you should do the same thing if I choose to.
Wow.
You know why? Because the thing is, everybody's replaceable. We got to stop, making it seem like everybody. And this is going to be real transparent.
Okay.
We're giving our takes on topics. Everybody can do this.
That's a fact.
You want to do it, you can do it. Take the seat. You know what I mean? So,
but not everybody can do that well.
This is true, but my thing is that I don't want to seem like I'm hating neither.
You're saying you don't like Rory and Maul?
I do like them. You know what I mean? My thing is, you give the podcast a certain sound, and I like you for it. But if you sit there and I don't know the inner workings on how much you've put into the podcast, but I know Maul came along like halfway through the podcast trajectory. So I know, you see, I'm going to get crucified.
Say it. I
just think everybody's replaceable. Even myself, I'm replaceable. No matter what you do, somebody else does it better. So, that seat can be filled in.
Okay.
And I think I watched a little bit of the two guys that are there now, Ice and Ish, I think.
Yeah, they're Joe Budden's good friends from back in
and
the
they
day.
sound great too. So I'm not mad at the change.
They don't sound bad. You know what I think it is though too? I think that the Joe Budden podcast, Joe Budden is so good at what he does that he has really good voice control. He has good cadence, and he knows how to control conversations and mediate them. So like he proved that he can do do it with anybody, because Ish is his best friend, somebody who's never done podcasting, who's not even famous.
And that's what I'm saying. Everyone is replaceable. I don't care how special you think you are. You're not that special. We're all,
oh my God,
we're all the
humble
same.
yourself, bitches.
And I don't want to seem like I'm hating on them. Big ups to Rory and Maul. It's just, like y'all would say, everybody's replaceable. And I'm pretty sure y'all would say the same.
I really miss them though.
They should start their own podcast then.
Nah, it wouldn't be the same.
All right. So what are we talking about then?
Let's move forward. So recently there's been footage floating around. Floating. Do you know where I'm going with this? Floating around. We're living in the future, people. There's footage floating around of people flying on hoverboards, and the rumor is that they are retailing for $20,000, $20,000. Would you buy a hoverboard that floats in the sky?
If I had the money, yes, absolutely.
That's crazy. I wouldn't do it.
I would be.
First of all, I'm
riding
afraid
that
of
thing
heights. And like, what if you fall off? That's a long.
Then you fall. You fall off a bike. You fell.
A bike is not as high as a floating hoverboard, though.
Well, you go as high as you think you're good.
It's crazy. Just drive a car, ride a skateboard, get on a bike. Why do you need a hoverboard that floats?
You could still get injured the same way.
But what is the reason?
Adrenaline. You don't like adrenaline. I do. So I'm getting
That's a no for me. Actually, no, I do like adrenaline. I rode jet skis back in the summer of 2009 when the world was normal. And that I think that's as far as I will go.
So if you like that, you'll like that.
No.
I'm pretty sure you will.
It's not the same.
Learn how to fly and you'll be...
You imagine mad people on floating hoverboards?
You know how fun it is to fly a drone? Imagine if you can fly your...
Okay, try and put this through your head. Car accidents. Now, hoverboard accidents. People bumping into each other. I'm talking heads.
How often do people crash into each other on bikes?
I don't know, nigga, but it's not the same. You're floating on air.
So what? I got more airspace now.
All right.
I could go higher than people.
I don't agree with that. And $20,000, who's going to afford
anything,
that?
I'm crashing into a bird before a person.
You think I'm going to pay $20,000 for a floating hoverboard?
If you had it, why not?
I don't have it.
Well, one day you will.
And if I did, I wouldn't.
Maybe I'll gift you one day.
Well, I appreciate that, but I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it sit there like, okay.
Oh,
one day you'll pick it up and be like, oh, let me try this thing.
Listen, it's fine. And that is all I have for the culture shock.
Oh,
you have something before?
I got something for culture shock that I seen not too long ago. I was running through my timeline and there's a video that surfaced of Danny Lay, and she appears to be pregnant.
What?
She appears.
You're lying.
And this is just what the comment says. Shade Room posted it, so
But who's the dad?
Yeah, man. I'm saying maybe the baby got a baby.
The baby got a baby. Come on, the baby. How you gonna put a baby in Danny Lay like this?
I mean, who wouldn't? That's the real question.
You just gotta be responsible.
I mean, sometimes you slip, fall.
No. No.
Maybe she slipped, fell, landed.
Really, nigga?
No.
Really, nigga?
No. Just stop. Stop the madness. People, practice safe sex. Aren't you the man who talks about practicing safe sex?
There's some exceptions.
Okay. We're done here.
I'm being real. There's some exceptions.
We're
like
done.
some.
Hey, I'm hitting the wrap it up button.
I got a list that.
Okay.
So we got a special guest, and our special guest she has a unique story. Actually, we have two special guests.
We do. Don't forget about Evan.
Hey,
come on now.
Can never forget about him. It's just that her story is so unique and so
powerful.
Like, man, what's something powerful that has changed you?
Me personally? Oh my gosh. Having a baby. I talked about this before on the podcast. We talked about this on an episode, like what has changed you. But like just being responsible over somebody else's life and basically what their life will turn out to be is a lot of pressure.
It's a big thing. I don't have quite the story like that. Just being the underdog for me, Mm-hmm. So, I always look up to stories like hers because I don't have a traumatic story that has changed my life for the better. Just kind of influence that passed away that kind of pushed me forward, and just seeing other people like really just do what they love. So, with that said, I want to introduce the interview that we're about to do with Soulita,
Lexus Fernandez and Evan.
And we're going to kick it out to the interview. Check it out.
Okay, so on Spark Up Podcast, of course, if you've heard us before, you know that we always have the best guests with accolades, go-getters, insightful, knowledgeable, wise people on the podcast. And
wait. You forgot something powerful. Powerful people.
Yes. Impactful.
Yes.
Influential. I could go on.
Absolutely.
And so today we have with us owners of Soulita Soap.
Yes.
Founder Lexus, or do you go by Lex? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter. No,
and
it doesn't matter.
Evan.
There you go.
Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for joining us. Today's topic of discussion is business, entrepreneurship, and partnership. And first, I would like to start off with your story, because you do have an incredible story. And I think it's important to tell your story so that folks understand the depth of your dedication. Like, because your brand is very prominent. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, it's deeply rooted in your story. If I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Sure. So tell us about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and all that good stuff.
Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to be here.
I'm excited too.
You can see it. Like, I'm just sitting here like, ooh, this is fun. My name is Lexus Fernandez, born and raised in Providence, Rhode Island. And I'm here with Evan, and we are the founders of Soulita. And you're so right. Soulita is definitely created at the lowest part of my life. And to not say so much, just because the whole podcast would just be my story, just for like a minute. Soulita definitely saved me, healed me. Art saved me, healed me. And May 2018, I was chilling. I was sophomore year in college. I had a really good job with Sprint. Like, I put myself in the manager position. And everything was good. I was chilling. And I was just working in Emerald Square Mall. It was a Sunday, May 2018. And then I was giving someone an upgrade. And then out of nowhere, I felt a hiccup inside my body. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I asked the customer, I was like, hey, what would you like your passcode to be? He said 4 numbers I couldn't explain. I couldn't understand. And I asked, can you say that again? And he said it again. I had no idea what he was saying. And English became foreign to me within that 1 second. I started recording just because I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what was wrong. A couple minutes later, you know, I was in a fetal position in a kiosk in Emerald Square Mall, and I was writing. And I was trying to put my ABCs in order, but I couldn't. And I didn't want to go to the hospital. I didn't want to go to ambulance because I didn't even have health insurance. And it's so ironic because Sunday morning, I had an alarm on for 8 a.m. to get health insurance to change my birth control. So I was like, nah, it can wait. But I didn't know the word ambulance. I didn't know how to speak. They ended up calling the ambulance. I was in the hospital. I told them that, I told my partner at the time that I don't know my ABCs. They told that to the nurse. The nurse gave me a CAT scan, and the nurse said, your brain is bleeding, and we can't really help you here. They rushed me to Rhode Island Hospital. And at that moment, I'm not going to say too much, because we could be talking about this forever.
No, whatever's comfortable.
Yeah. It was just a lot. By the time I get back to the Rhode Island Hospital, I was already in a very short coma. And I'm going to mention this because I think about it all the time. Because being in that coma, I couldn't move my body. I could hear everything next to me, people talking, laughing, talking about what they had for lunch. And I am like silently screaming in my body. And I always say, I don't know if I was like this big or I wasn't measurable. I had no idea, and I couldn't move my body, and I was just practicing numbers and the alphabet because I felt like, okay, if I go to sleep, that's it. I don't know if it lasts 2 hours or 2 minutes, but there's a point where I told myself, it's okay. You can let go. And I did. And then I woke up. After 2 weeks, my brain started swelling. They put me in a rushed surgery. They took out this piece of my skull. I was pushed definitely back to adolescence. I sounded like a 5-year-old, 6-year-old girl, but I just didn't know what was going on. And the whole time, the only thing I wanted to do was go to a concert. I'm like, I gotta go.
Normal things.
Yeah, like I have a whole team. They have some what's it called? Certificates programs that they have to do. Like, I need to get back.
Wait, so you had Soulita soap at this time?
No.
Oh, okay,
so I was working at Sprint, and I was a manager.
Right.
So I was like, my team, like, this is, I needed to get back, but I just didn't understand what was going on after. Once they shaved my head, I knew. I was like, okay. You can't tell here, but I have big curly hair. Like, you have curly hair. Like what it is to have curly hair, and it's definitely part of your identity. And I would never straighten my hair. I would go into my job with wraps, everything. It was beautiful. They cut it. I felt like, all right, this is whatever. I normalized death. After a month, I left the hospital without the piece of my skull. After 5 months, I survived the physical pain, and then it was on the mental pain, which is a lot worse. And this is when Soulita came about. So once I got home, I was able to go to the shower. In the hospital, I barely showered, and if I did, like, my mom would shower me. And if I was there for a month, I was probably showered 4 times. They're not there to make sure that, my feet look good. They're there to make sure that I'm alive. So when I got home, I was, trying the different soaps and stuff, body wash. I didn't have hair, but hairspray, stuff like that. And every single time, it made me break out. And, I couldn't go back to school, couldn't go back to work. I couldn't go places without a helmet on my head. I had no hair. My face was swollen. I lost pounds, so my pants didn't fit right. I was just like at my lowest. But because I had all this time, and because I was learning English again, like, I would read these books about aromatherapy, essential oils, and I was like, well, if I have this problem with these products, why not create my own? Started making soap.
And you used to carve out your own soap, correct? Or was that? Yeah, I think I had a sample from you, like custom soap, right? That's how you started out?
Yeah. The whole thing is, like, the brain had a flood of... My brain flooded the brain. My brain flooded the blood. It's hard for me to say it. But you gotta be, yes, on the left side of my brain. So even me speaking, language, math, time, reading, writing, all of that messed me up. And, like, I'm still in speech therapy. Really? I started in 2018. I'm still in speech therapy. So even if I pronounce something wrong, it's because it's an aphasia. But I'm mentioning that because this side was totally weak, but the right side, these ideas, the creativity. I was always an artist before the aneurysm, and I was always an artist after too. And, like, that's why I'm like, okay, why not change the idea of soap? When you think about soap, what do you think about?
Being clean.
No.
Good.
Yes, but what does it look like?
Oh, like a square.
A square with probably a logo on it. What color?
White.
True. So you never think about, with Soulita soap, you can customize it. Pick the organic oils, the shape, the colors, the scent, the organic oils. I think I said that twice. The botanicals. You can pick just about everything. And like I would use these molds that were for like cake. But I was like, why can't I make soap out of this? And so that was legit the beginning of Soulita. But once me and Evan put our minds together, that's when it went popping, you know. That's when
it took off.
That's when it took off.
Now let me ask you a question before you get into. You said scents were what scent was your excuse me. Yeah. What scent was your favorite at the time?
At the time?
Like that just like brought you life because you was at your lowest. Like what was that scent that gave you life?
Yeah, because you talked about aromatherapy, so there had to have been.
Honestly, sage, like the sage scent, the Palo Santo scent. And I'm telling you, like I was at my lowest. I was at my lowest, but once I told myself, like, okay, it's time to heal. Ain't nobody gonna do it for me. I have to do it for myself. I started meditating. I started using sage. I started using Palo Santo. I started doing these things to really just calm me down. And it helped.
Well, I'm so glad you're here. And thank God you're here. And Soulita Soap, the brand is beautiful. I love the marketing. Even just your personal Instagram page, like the branding is beautiful. So talk to us how you connected with Evan and how he came into the brand.
Yeah.
Or Evan, if you want to speak, the floor is yours.
I mean, there may be two stories, you know.
No, it's not two stories. No. Usually
we'll
people ask, and then what usually happens is I start it and he finishes it. So like, I'm gonna say the beginning, but I know.
We're
but I
gonna
definitely
stick to the
know.
script, huh?
But babe,
go
I
ahead.
definitely know. So, all right. I started the website September 2019.
Really?
2019.
That seems like only not even 2 years ago.
Yeah. So this is just the website, the first website. Like it went from I got my skull back November 2018. I did not start Soulita's website until September 2019. And that was the same time that I was trying to create a beard oil promo. And guess who was in it?
Banz. Let me tell you something. Do you know how long he bragged about that?
Let me say something.
He was bragging about it.
It was a fun experience.
Something to brag about.
We had fun.
We had so much fun.
It was like we were having fun before recording, and when we did record, it was still fun because we was laughing at each other.
Yeah, it was really, really cool, and it was super, super, super low budget. It was like no budget. That's how low it was. And
it'd be like
humble
that
beginnings.
Yeah.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah, and like you're gonna have that story, that experience with Soulita since the beginning. Like you're gonna have that.
That's dope.
And if you've been part of it, you just know how far we've come. And it's
facts.
Yeah. It's something to be proud of, for sure.
Yeah, I'm super, super, super
And so
happy.
you talked about you start and he finishes. So are you more of the creative and he's, Evan, are you more of the business type? Is that how it is? Or are you both creative?
Go ahead, let him speak.
I mean, we're both jack of all trades. We both kind of like dip our hands in everything. But we all try to find like a balance. You know, she's good at what she does, and I'm good at what I do. I always say, you know, my background is marketing. I've been dipped in like a few industries. Because New York City is the melting pot of everything, you know? So for me to create nothing out of something, or to create something out of nothing, you know, it's something that I always wanted to do in Rhode Island. So, you know, me meeting Lexus and joining the team of just me and her, you know, I was able to interpret that dream, you know, and where we can take Soulita to. And, you know, right now we're, you know, people say we're a success, but, you know, we're just succeeding right now. You know, we're not where we want to be. We're working on that, you know. So, you know, I expect a lot more things and a lot of innovations and revamping. Because technically, like, in what we did with Soulita, Lex gave me the chance to kind of like take control, you know, and that was pretty much to like shut a lot of things down just to bring things back up again, you know, and that's within social media marketing and just creating that vision for Soulita. So, you know that I do think, like, you know, somebody like Lex trusting me to kind of like hold that baby, you know, so.
That takes a lot of trust. Talk about that though, like what it's like to start something that originally came from you, and especially like that time in your life to trust somebody with your vision.
Listen, it was so hard. It was so hard because, like, how being like an independent woman and then having that ripped away from you because of your health, and then, you know, sharing ideas and delegate things, it's just like, what, like, how, and, but it was hard in the beginning, but the results and just the just understanding his mind and listening to the way he thinks, just like all of it just made sense. But it did take some time. It's hard, you know. It is hard.
Evan, I want to talk a little bit about, because you say you're from New York. So
What's good?
How long have you been in Rhode Island?
I want to say since, like, I want to say probably November of 2019.
Oh, so you're a real New Yorker. Because, you know, we have a lot of people in Rhode Island who say, I'm from New York, but they came to Rhode Island like at the age of 2.
Yeah, I mean,
so really they're from Prov.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I was born in Rhode Island, but I was pretty much built in New York City. You know, so, you know, I it's kind of like the best of both worlds. But if I were to claim a state, I ain't gonna hold you, it would be New York City, because that's what kind of like rebirthed me.
And so I know that there's obviously a major difference in landscape and perspective and mindset.
Markets.
Right.
So how was it like coming from New York, the New York state of mind, really, to come to a city or a state where, how do I say this without
things are slowed down?
No, we hear it.
Yeah, you know, like, people don't think so large, or they question themselves when they do. So talk about that mindset and how you use that to your advantage.
Yeah, I mean, coming from a fast-paced city, and you're around your peers on whatever craft you're in. For me, I was into photography. Then I moved into like fashion. Then I moved into acting. Then I managed artists. You know, so like, and I was always amongst my peers. So those resources and that network was always there. You know, whether on the left, the right, and behind me or in front of me. So, you know, utilizing that here, you know, is just more so, I know more outlets and, you know, these platforms, I know how to maneuver myself. And I feel like, you know, a lot of times you have to strategize. And you have to kind of burn yourself a certain type of way. You have to like know what these whatever you're doing, whether it's music, art, you have to know what these like industries cater to. And for me, I know I've been told here in Rhode Island, like, Soulita's Instagram or whatever is boring, is whack. You know, I sold my soul, you know. But it's kind of like, you know, if we want to be where we want to be, we have to kind of have to simplify a lot of things, and we have to keep things clean, and it can't be too complex. And, you know, people say I'm dramatic when I do things, you know, because like I may post something or I may display something and you never hear from me again until like another month, you know. But
sounds like that's like what artists do.
Yeah.
Right. You know, you come out and you use social media to when you have to.
It's a gift and a curse. But, you know, to fully answer your question, it's pretty much so, you know, just keeping up with the times and kind of like burning yourself to the T. Getting out of your comfort zone, and honestly, sometimes like you have to get in your ethical ways if you want to get in that bag. So, And I'm not saying like
Banz talks about that. Sometimes you gotta lose your morals.
Yeah, I mean honestly, because Rhode Island is a competitive state. Like I don't know any unity here. Like I don't know two organizations that join other organizations and try to benefit as one. I know in New York we do that a lot. So part B to that answer, to that question is, I don't look at competition at all. Because if I look at competition, everything becomes a job and it's no longer fun anymore. So, I'm glad like I'm here and, I'm not competing with anybody in Rhode Island. If anything, like you can join the boat, but end of the day, I'm doing my thing. You just got to catch up. That's it.
I like that. I always say you are your own. Right. You're your best competition. Nobody else should be your competition.
Exactly.
Simply because you are who you are. You can't change that. So being yourself and pushing forward is what you have to do. So
I hear that. Yeah, and so obviously it's a company has a long ways to go. Talk about, because I think a lot of people when they start their own business or when they're thinking of starting a business, even something as simple as like selling T-shirts, right? They don't understand or haven't experienced what it is to actually run a business. So talk about like the time, the hours you're putting in, like the labor. Talk about the labor part of it.
See, a lot of people, what they do, they already have a full time and then they do like a side hustle, and they let the full time fund the side hustle. And like for me, I didn't have that. I had nothing. I had no money. I had no education, which is a lot of people don't have education on business. I had no network, and I mean, when it comes to me, like you gotta go out there and you gotta look for it. It was very, very hard. But once you start looking for it, for instance, like there are organizations in Rhode Island that will help you for free. Or even if you have to pay for the workshop, $5. Max I've paid is $10, and there's always scholarships. You gotta look for it when it comes to like the education. Like when I made the first website for Soulita, I overdrawed my account and I told myself like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna pay for the whole year, because if I pay just for the month at any time, I can just quit. Mm-hmm. But if I do it for the whole year, it's like I have to be dedicated for the whole year. I'm not gonna waste $300 for nothing. And reading helps so much. A lot of people they learn YouTube, taking classes.
YouTube University.
Shout outs.
That's how Banz learned a lot about photography.
I started 2 years ago, and I like to say that YouTube has taught me so much, to the point where I've talked to people that went to school for photography, and some of them don't even know what they're talking about sometimes. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what you paid all that money for?
Yeah. Yeah. And especially like with podcasting, like from my perspective, because I don't have a trade like y'all do, but it was a growing industry when we started back in 2016. So there wasn't really much information like it is now. So we're kind of like learning with the times.
Everything.
And a lot of people look at it as a hobby, right? But then you're like, no, this is like a lifestyle. Business. This is my life. Like this is everything. Yeah. So it's hard when you talked about like having the 9 to 5 and then trying to do this on the side. Yeah. Eventually you hit that roadblock. Like, okay, I have to like, if this is what I'm going to do, I have to give it my all. Yeah. If not, it's just not going to work.
You change the 9 to 5 to 24/7. Because that's what it is. The labor, me and him, Sorry, excuse me.
No.
No. Me and him, we go to sleep and we wake up working on Soulita. There's many times where one of the most heaviest day was a Mother's Day last year. And like we was up for like over 35 hours. We had people in our family doing deliveries for the custom soap baskets, and legit, like there's times where you ain't gonna get sleep, but it's gonna be totally okay. You know, that's what you're alive for. If you're alive, you can do stuff like that. But you just, especially with this like scarred brain, I always have to pay attention to how my body's talking to me, because you have to take breaks.
Yeah,
you have to
take care of yourself.
That's
you have to take care of yourself.
Taking breaks when you're on that grind, it's hard to take breaks.
Yeah, it's super hard, but you got to.
I wanted to ask you, how was the experience? Like when you met that point in the road where you had to choose either Soulita or keep working, how was that experience? Because, like, you know, a lot of people that are doing creatives, people that are doing things for themselves, don't know. Like, nobody really talks about that part when you get to that point of the road where it's like either like, yo, I gotta give it all or nothing. Like, how is that experience?
I think both of us should answer that. When it comes to me, I feel like my story is a bit unique just because it was either, you know, trying to work. Trying to work basically means that I am going to get pushed every single day because of the invisible disabilities I'm still dealing with. I can't even really talk on the phone with people. So, and like the head pain and having to sleep usually longer than regular people should, like it just wouldn't work for me. I started like my family half owns this bar, and a couple of months ago I said, okay, let me go try just to see what my limits are. And one of the managers put me on for like 5 days straight, and I'm like, I just want it one time a week. But you know, I tried it. By the third day, I came in crying. I'm like, I'm hurting. Like, I'm legit hurting. So like, if I was to have a boss, to have people just have it like a 9 to 5, I think I wouldn't be as healed as I am right now. Having Soulita, where I create my schedule, I do what I want, and I'm engaging with the whole world with Soulita. It's like, I need that because of the disabilities I'm dealing with. Yeah. Like when it comes to me,
just fit your life.
It fits my life with the things that I'm like. After the aneurysm, it's just a lot of things change in my body, and because I'm healed on the outside, you just can't see it. But I'm dealing with a lot, and having Soulita, having my own business, I don't want it any other way. So I'm gonna go hard regardless. Like, and I like to wake up and I can work in my pajamas. So if that sounds good to me. That's a plus. I mean, things are gonna change soon because we have really good news. But
I've been peeping.
I can pick what I
I've been peeping.
Yeah, listen. And Evan said it like a couple minutes ago. Like, a lot of people say, "Oh, so successful." This, that. It's like, y'all don't have no idea what we about to drop. And it's like, what y'all looking at? Oh no, of course we appreciate it. We thank you. Like, we are grateful that you're part of the community and you are seeing it like that. But you have to understand, we are working so hard behind the scenes, and what we're going to drop, what we are going to create, is just like, I hope it just blows people's mind like it's blowing ours. That's why we're creating it.
I'm excited. I only know like a snippet, and I'm like, ooh.
I've been peeping. I'm not gonna give no spoilers. I've been peeping.
No, we can say we can say that.
I want you guys to, but I want Evan to tell us, you know, on his end, how did he know he You know, and how did you go through that point?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I haven't had a 9 to 5. I want to say in 3 years, and that's just the advantage of being in New York City.
Must be
And
nice.
and it's a grind. Listen, it's a grind because you. Well, in New York City, I was a struggling photographer, you know, and that was like the breaking point of, you know, I'm not doing a 9 to 5 no more. I'm gonna stick with photography. But yeah, I mean, that is a hustle itself. Like it's not fresh flowers at first. You can't just. And I commend anybody who's just dropping their job and doing what they love, because that challenge is gonna just, you know, is gonna teach you a tough lesson. And yeah, I mean, I for me, I know I can't do a 9 to 5. I can't have a boss. You know, like I can't. There comes a time when, you know, you're talking to your manager and you just want to be where he or she's at, and his or her response is, "Well, we got to work hard, you know, for that person." And you know, you gotta, and that's energy that, you know, you can definitely put towards yourself and your craft. But then again, everybody has to play their part. You know, so sometimes being an entrepreneur or being self-made is not for everybody. Sometimes, you know, if your niche is to work a 9 to 5 and that's your comfort zone, then I can't say anything, you know. But I know for me personally, you know, it just wasn't for me. My mom always thought photography or modeling wasn't a real job, you know, so that back and forth, you know, was always there. But in New York City, you can't go broke. If you're going broke in New York City, I'm sorry. Like, you got to reevaluate your life.
Just the rent alone. Never mind everything else that comes with it. The traveling, the lifestyle, the this, the that. Like, New York is tough. I'm only there for like, maybe, I haven't been there like a year, but like just being there for like a day stresses me out. So I couldn't imagine living there.
I mean, if you're in certain industries, like if you being a photographer, you know, you're in an industry where things can come to you for free. You know, you can easily go to an agency and you're not paying for anything. You're not paying for travel. You're not paying. You're getting invited to be at somebody's table at a club. You know, things, and that was my lifestyle. You know, I sacrificed it coming down here, but it's all good. but nah, like it's a lifestyle. You can get paid for being somebody's friend in New York City, and I'll leave it at that.
Wow. I want to be somebody's friend too, because I'm going to quit my 9 to 5.
I know exactly what you're saying, because that's what's starting to happen to me, where I'm getting put into these rooms where it's like, wow, only because of a camera.
Right.
And, you know, obviously there's talent behind it, but it's like a few years ago, I never thought this can take you this far.
And that's the exciting part, the unpredictable journey. You never know where it could lead you.
And so you said you would like to, you know, sneak in what's going on. We want to know what's going on, because you're talking about mind-blowing.
Tell us, because I've been peeping, but I want you to tell us.
One thing about what you said, the last thing we talked about when it comes to, okay, how does someone just, you know, go from full-time to their small business? Your boss is never going to pay you enough to be their neighbor. And
that's bar.
And it's the truth. It's a sad truth, you know? A lot of people, they have comfort in a salary, in a vacation, you know, from the boss. And it's just like, you don't understand that they're doing that for a reason, to keep you there. Then if you're working on something, a side business, there's going to be a point where, you know, wake up. You ain't going to want to go to that job, and you're just going to have to make that leap, and it might set you back. And it's even harder if you have children to do a leap like that. You really got to put the time in.
Are you telling me to quit my job? Because I'll put my 2 weeks in tomorrow.
I always say just do it. Just do it, because, I mean, for me, it's been working. Even though I'm still in my 9 to 5, but it doesn't really interfere with everything I'm doing. So it's kind of like it's an asset, because I have something to fall back on. But, you know, if it comes to that point where I gotta quit my job, I'm quitting it.
Yeah.
Well, put it like this. Like, let's say if both y'all quit your 9-to-5s or your jobs, like, how far would you take your photography and how far would you take the podcast? Like, how far would you guys take, like, that energy that's being held back? You know, how far, like, honestly, that's what happened to me. And I don't mean to make it go, to recycle it back to me, but I quit my job. I knew I had to go harder. All that energy that was not, like, that was, like, undiscovered, like, I found that. You know, so it's kind of like, and it's the unpredictableness of, you know, what can like, what will happen if I do this. It's the if and then, you know, philosophy of things.
Yeah, it's a gamble,
It
but
is.
you're betting on yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
So it has to.
I mean,
come
but
from
who's
within.
better to bet on yourself than yourself?
Hey,
Ooh, that's,
You gotta believe-
that's a bar right there.
You gotta facts. Like you gotta believe in yourself to be able to pull a move like that. Like
Yeah, facts.
you can't not halfway believe in yourself and do that. Like you have to like really believe in yourself to be able to pull something like that.
for sure. And so first of all, I want to talk about some of the products that you have because a lot of people are probably listening and they don't know, or they know and you know they'd like to know the details of it. So what is it that you guys have? What are the products? You have soap, you have beard oil.
So I'll say one thing. We have dropped the soap from Soulita. So it's just Soulita now. And it's because of all the other products we have. We call ourselves, you know, a natural skincare business.
Right.
And you want to talk about the products?
Yeah, I can talk.
Listen. I just want to hear your voice.
Here we go. Yeah, so I mean, it's all natural vegan products, and it's some of them are unisex, some of them are for men, some of them are for women. But it's pretty much all for the external skin. So we have a roundabout of for men for like beard oil, beard mask, beard butters, and such. A lot of our unisex items, you know, indicate skincare. Yeah, skincare would pretty much indicate, you know, rose oil, rose water, shea butter,
Dry mask line.
dry mask line, which we're trying to
You have a face
push.
scrub?
No, just a dry mask.
Yeah.
Mask
Okay,
right now.
I
So
need something.
a facial.
Yeah.
But we are trying to push
listening.
skincare for men also, even though it's kind of like commercialized for women. But you know, men, we can use this stuff too. Like I use it all the time. I have a regimen or routine, you know, however you want to call it. But yeah, it's pretty much for everybody. I mean, we can use any item. Like I gave a talk, kind of like a life hack. Like use a beard oil for tattoos. You know, that works.
I was gonna say in our organic pregnancy line for mothers expecting mothers,
nice.
but that's about
Prenatal care.
the lines that we have right now. And what's unique about Soulita is, you know, it's not just the products. It's not like the number one goal is not to have a clear skin. And it sounds really funny, like, what do you mean you're a skincare company? Because it's not just that. It's about creating a routine, creating a routine that gives yourself some self-time, some self-care, and soul care. Me time. Soulita.
I see what you're doing there.
So, like, with these scents, they're super, we're very particular with them because, you know, we do the research. Okay, so, like, how does our body react? You know, is it going to keep us calm, relaxed? Like, yes, the product can give you a solution for a certain skin concern, but there's also another side of it where we want you using Soulita products. We want you to feel good. Like, we want you to, like, our dry mask collection, we do it together, where whether he puts this like on his face, or the beard mask, and I do a hair mask, like, that's quality time together by ourselves. Like, spending the time on yourself can heal you. It can and I say that because like legit, we have sage and Palo Santo on the product catalog because of that. That healed me. Like I told you, when I was at my lowest, I said, okay, I'm gonna try to do this. In my head, it was cliche to do yoga and meditate back then, but now I understand why people do it. And sage and Palo Santo, those things healed me. When it comes to Soulita, the products, like legit, we haven't dropped like a new product in about 3 months just so we can really focus. All right, what do we want Soulita to be? And I can tell you right now, it's not going to be just skincare because we can do so much when it comes to that soul care, self-care, skincare, all that.
So my bad. Are you getting into the makeup game?
No.
Good. We have enough of those.
I'll tell you that straight up. No. No.
Are you you're Dominican, right?
No.
No?
No, it's not a bad thing. No.
I'm saying like because I'm surprised.
joking.
No,
I thought I could read.
I'm super mixed.
people.
Me and Evan, we are super mixed. Our baby is gonna be like
Babies.
no, in the future, you know. Solita's our baby now, but once we have, oh my gosh, that child is going to be so mixed that they're going to like lose their breath after saying like, oh, what is your background? Me personally, my mother is Puerto Rican, black, and a little bit of Irish. My dad's Portuguese, Italian. This one, you say.
I mean, I'm part Haitian, Cape Verde, Cuban, and Cherokee, Native American.
So we're black.
So we're black.
Black.
So we're black.
Across the board, really what
We're
it is.
both black.
Yeah.
We are black. That's that.
And I'm glad that you mentioned babies, not pressuring anybody to have kids here because babies are a big responsibility. But I'm glad you segue into that because I don't want our listeners to think that you're just flirting with your partner. Like this is actually your partner in real life.
Yes, no, this is my partner.
So what is that dynamic like? How do you separate? Because I know like Mary J. Blige, her husband was her manager her whole career. Right. And she talked about how like at the dinner table, it's always business. We talked to Sabrina and Jay. They said the same thing. Like it's hard to separate that. Do you guys find that same like challenge?
Why don't we talk about how we actually started and then we can get into that? Because I know you mentioned it. We kind of didn't talk about it. You can say it.
I'm lost.
Because
How'd you guys meet?
How do we meet? Oh, okay, I got you. All right.
Oh wait, it's like two sentences. Basically, I was doing the beard oil promo and somebody tagged him on the post. And I messaged him. My first message to him
in his
like,
DMs.
Yeah, you know I did.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I was like, your beard is perfect. This is and that. And you know what he did to me?
He left you on scene.
No, he didn't. That would have been, I think this is worse. He was like, I'm just going to need a contract. This and that. I'm like,
He was trying to be professional.
Okay. Yeah, but I didn't need that. I need free people just come to my house and
just give me your beard.
Yeah, no, it's totally cool though because I would not have want him to be there because like super low budget. Like we were chilling.
It was really a hangout time.
Yeah, it was a hangout time.
But also conducting a passion.
Yeah, yeah, like, it was totally okay. Your turn.
Yeah, I mean, that time I was like, I need a contract because I was building up myself as a brand, and I was getting my BFA, Getty Images all in. But I mean, I told her I was in New York City, and I don't know whether or not I'll be down, but keep in touch.
Yeah.
And when I was in Rhode Island doing a movie called La Soga, and
with Manny Perez.
Yeah, Manny Perez.
Yeah, he has family here in Providence.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we all linked up. I've been to his sister's house and his nieces.
I was
all cool peeps.
Close to getting him on the podcast.
I mean, honestly, it's not. I don't think it's that hard.
No, but he doesn't. He doesn't live out here, right?
I don't know where he lives.
Yeah, I think he lives in New York.
But
City.
he be back and forth.
Yeah,
he'd be back and forth. So I was here, and COVID had happened. So I kind of stayed down here. I got my mom down here, and I seen Lex, and I didn't know who she was at first until she said Soulita. my memory is kind of vivid. So it's kind of like I know who you are, you know. So then ever since then we started hanging out, chilling, this and all that.
He took off all the romance out of it. Like, I was on Federal Hill. Like, let me put a little romance. Listen,
Okay,
I'm on Federal Hill.
Go ahead.
I see him from afar.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, that's him. So I turned back around. I was at Nara waiting for my best friend, Amanda. So I was like standing there, and I'm like, okay, should I say something? Should I say something? Should I say something? I turn around, and he's like right there. And I'm like,
this was after you asked him to be the
So this
weird
is like a movie, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is like, we haven't talked. Like, I was even surprised that he followed me back. So like after that, we didn't really talk, but I saw him on Federal Hill, and I saw he was like on his phone. He ended up, was using the GPS to go somewhere.
I was lost. I didn't know where I was. I was meeting somebody.
You were not lost. You were right where she needed you to be.
I guess. A few seconds
That's
before
how life is. That's how life is. You think you may be lost, but you're right on track.
Yeah, I saw him.
Y'all getting deep on me. I was actually lost.
It's true. He was like, so like that ass.
Yo.
I saw him. I was like, Soulita? And he's like, oh, yeah. So then after that, I'm just like, there's no way he thinks I'm cute. Or like, I was dressed up too. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. He messaged me after. And I think that's when the flirting started happening. But we were just chilling. And we knew that we were just chilling. He's going back to New York. He has things that he's doing, acting, modeling. And I was working on Soulita. I was like, my mindset was, if I'm spending time with a man, I'm cheating on Soulita. But, May 2019, April 2020. So last year, in spring, we started working on it together. You can talk. You want to talk?
Yeah. And, for me, I knew I was going to stay here for a while. I wanted to go back, but, New York was in a frenzy. So, I stayed down here, and, Lex, she had her business. And honestly, like, for me, like, I know businesses here, whether it's in my eyes, some of them were inconsistent, and I didn't want that for Lex. So for me, I was like, you know what, let me just hop on board and see what I can do and interpret, like I said, her dream and see how far we can take Soulita. And like I said, from there, she gave me the control to kind of drop everything and bring everything back up. And, this is where Soulita is at now.
Beautiful. And now you have this huge announcement that's going to blow the top off and take Soulita to the next level.
Honestly, there's a couple things we're working on, but the biggest is, let me say this to you now, like, where we work is like in a attachment to the house, and it's only like maybe 2 of these long that way.
So it's a very small,
very small. Like if we pass each other, we have to like turn, almost like
basically shoulder to shoulder.
Basically, a 1-bedroom apartment in New York City.
It's a little sniper shot.
And we've just been using that. And when I first started, I was getting ingredients, just ounces, and now we're getting pounds. We're getting not just
that talk.
Not just 20 pounds. Wait, no. Wait, why was I thinking of it like drugs or something?
No. Oh, no. We're pushing soap.
No, I get it. No, yeah.
But
anyway,
go ahead.
I was gonna say it went from 24 count to hundreds count, and
God bless.
Yeah, I mean, and like also like I know we mentioned this earlier. Like there's a lot of behind the scenes that people don't see, and of course we don't get the opportunity to be on platforms like this to kind of like verbally showcase or tell you guys like it is a tough road, and we have to utilize what we have, and it's been pretty much prevailing, and it's been flourishing, and we've been grateful for that. Yeah. And we've been pretty much just taking things day by day, and now like we are just on another level.
We have a warehouse.
Yeah. So we went.
Yay!
So
where's the clap? Yo, we gotta learn this thing.
So we went from, I want to say, like a small pantry to like a 3,000 square foot. Yeah.
Wow.
How's the feeling?
The feeling is I can't really explain it.
3,000 square feet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lot of space.
I like that.
That is.
And I only asked that because when we got into this space,
Right.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It blew my mind. Like, damn, you seen where we was?
Yeah.
It was way smaller than this.
And it was low ceilings, right?
Low ceilings. I couldn't do photography.
This
you
man-
know how vital
I know how that feels,
vital
bro.
ceilings are for photography.
He came up to me one day. He was like, we need high ceilings. And first of all, I was already against a studio prior to getting our first space. And Regina, who was on the podcast, my friend, she was like, why don't we just do it? Why don't we just get a space?
Nah, Ruben's crazy.
Fine, let's do it, right? But then he started talking about a bigger space, and we are literally in the middle of a pandemic. This was like right before. Was it before shutdown, or did we already shut down?
We already shut down. We was
It was,
3
yeah,
months
it was like
in.
June.
Yeah.
May,
It was
June.
3 months in, and I was like, yo, we can't continue to be here. One, I was like, damn, looking around on Craigslist, like, what can I find? And I was already scouting, so I went to a few places, checked them out, and I'm coming back from this one place that I was like, yo, this might be the place. And then I found this place, and literally within 10 minutes, the owner goes, yeah, you could come see it. I was like, say less. 10 minutes, I was here. And long story short,
We're
that's
here.
how it happened.
It's
We're here.
beautiful in
There you
here.
go.
And you, we tell that story to ask, were you ever hesitant of getting such a space like that, or did you know it was like time?
So to be honest, we were choosing between a retail store or like a warehouse. That was our on the option list. So we chose collectively, like, we need a warehouse before a retail store. And we weren't sure if we even wanted a retail store physically, or just to keep it e-commerce. So yeah, I mean, it was a hard decision, because the finances. Well, can we keep it up and whatnot? The politics of everything. But yeah, I mean, it was hard, but then again, it was easy because it goes back to what I said before. It's the unpredictableness of where can this lead us?
And speaking of retail store, you do have some of Soulita's products in what do they call it? Brick and mortar? Is that the term, right?
Yeah.
Where can they find Soulita?
So we have 9 retail partners in Rhode Island, and
That's a flex. Right? That's wow.
Big
That's
flex.
amazing.
wow,
Congratulations.
we are super, super, super happy about it. And you can find us in esthetician studios, refill and zero waste spots. You can find us in restaurants. Like, you can legit find us in a bunch of different places. I'll name a couple in Rhode Island. So in Providence, our biggest retail partner is Plant City.
Plant City.
And then go to Pawtucket. We're in the Heel Room, which is a refill zero waste store. We got 2 salons, 3 yoga spots, salons, or when it comes to like facial, esthetician studios, which is one Solara, which is in Cranston, and then there's there's 4. So Estella's lash studio, lash and skincare studio, which is on Hope Street in Providence. And then there's Portsmouth, where that's the sanctuary. And then there's that's all of like the studio. And you can find us in restaurants like Leali, which is downtown Providence, but they don't sell the hand sanitizer. They just have it at the table. You can find us in the Duke Bar and Spirits, Kitchen and Spirits, which is a restaurant in North Providence, and we're going to start selling the hand sanitizers there because the customers ask. And what else am I missing?
Green Line.
Green Line. Oh, Green Line. Green Line is awesome. Green Line is apothecary, so it's a pharmacy. It has like a soda fountain area where they have like floats and nice tea, and then they also have really awesome products. And like it's beautiful to see Soulita on a shelf right next to Thayer's. We're just really big brands right next to us.
In Portland.
Portland. That's far, but it was still like even
Portland,
even
like
that's what makes
Portland,
us nationwide,
like
huh?
the city.
Yeah.
Portland, Oregon. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so that's what makes us like nationwide.
PDX, Gone West PDX, which is like a store. It's a small like gift shop, but it has skincare, it has plants. Like it's like really cool in there.
So where can people find the information? It's all on the website, I'm assuming, correct?
Right now, you could definitely check it on the Instagram. There's a highlight in stores, and then once we update the website, there's going to be a whole page like stockist, or it's going to say in stores and where you can check it out.
Dope.
That's dope.
So that's exciting. So the brand is growing.
Yeah.
The brand is booming. And everything is coming along, and we're so happy to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. I think the last time I saw you, yes. Oh my god,
that was right before.
You know how many people
too.
hit me up like, "Yo, that's the last time I was outside," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I miss being like around our peers, you know, because like that energy, that creative energy it's inspiring. Like it keeps you wanting more. And like you said, Rhode Island is competitive, but I think we're coming to a space where there's more unity. Yeah. And I feel like it was right there at the midst of like right before COVID hit. But you know, I hope that everyone can still find ways to socialize and still get together and do things, and even if you're not working together, just like, you know, hit each other up and say, yo, what you're doing is dope. Like, I'm always in someone's DM saying, yo, I'm proud of you. Like, keep going. Keep doing what you do, because it helps. It helps everybody, you know, and it makes us look great.
Not only that, but it might be that little confirmation for somebody to go and do it even harder than what they have been. You know what I mean? That, damn, bro, damn, sis, I see you doing good. Might change the trajectory of that person choosing to continue their business or quit their business. So,
and I hope that people can look at Soulita and say, you know, like, my dreams aren't big. They're not unreachable. They're not unattainable, because you started at home with just an idea. Now you have a warehouse. Like, my goodness, that is something to be super proud of. And
manifestation.
And it's only up from here. It's up and it's stuck, like Cardi B, right?
Hey.
So, to end it off, give some words of encouragement to someone who's starting their own business, or to entrepreneurs out there, each of you.
You go ahead.
I go.
Yeah.
Why, so you could think about something really nice?
Right, he needs time.
Nah, I hear you. Honestly, you only need one thing. You only need one criteria to change your life, to chase your dreams, to plan for something bigger than yourself. And that only thing is you have to be alive. And that's about it. Because if I'm telling you, I normalized Evan, I was ready to be out. But because I had the chance to try again, because I survived death, I knew that if a ruptured brain aneurysm couldn't kill me, if I couldn't kill myself with the mental pain, then I'm supposed to be alive. And everybody is supposed to be alive if they are. And it's like, you only got to be alive to change. You can legit wake up the next day and change. It's if you want to do it or not. You got to work hard, yes. You have to be a doer, not too much of a dreamer all the time. You can plan forever, but it's not going to start until you actually do it. But the one thing you really got to do is you got to be alive.
That's deep.
How are you going to top that off?
I guess I gotta be real. Nah, pretty much for any prodigy trying to make it out and do their own thing is pretty much just have self-awareness, and that pretty much solidifies like know your strengths, know your weakness, know that you can't do it by yourself, no sacrifice, and just being aware of the world. And if you really want to be successful, and everybody has their own definition of success, but that universal success, is pretty much just know yourself, know your limits. You gotta know your strengths.
Yeah.
Because there's so much a body and a mind can take, and sometimes it's okay to pass that, ideology off to somebody else to help you out. Because we can't do things, but you can't do anything by yourself, as much as you think you can.
Yeah.
And it's been proven. Fight me.
Fight me.
Yeah.
Come at me.
Yeah, I
bro.
believe you, man. That's
It's true.
it takes a team,
Right.
It
Yeah.
and
does.
there's no I in team, so
Literally,
Exactly.
there isn't. And if you put an I, you're spelling it wrong. So,
absolutely.
But I do have something else to say though.
oh yeah. Go ahead.
So we do got the warehouse, and we are in a few days we're having a crowdfunding, and we're just asking like financial support from the community, just to build this vision that me and Lex have. So anything helps.
Anything helps. And also May 2nd, we will be doing a community cleanup. This is our new community in Manton. So we want to do a community cleanup and just go through the streets. Onyville,
Manton needs it.
Manton,
Onyville, that's my
Academy,
old hood. That's
all
where I
that.
grew up.
All that. And,
That's beautiful.
And
And that's right around Earth Day.
Yes. That's what I'm trying. I want it to really be in April, but as close as I can get, And as entrepreneurs, I believe it is our duty to revitalize the community and to be sustainable. So we're trying to do both of them with this community cleanup.
Beautiful.
So definitely, if you can come, or even if you can sponsor, like I'm doing sponsorship only $40.
I know someone that I can connect you to
Cool.
that is in that world, in that
Yeah.
realm. So we'll talk about it off.
I need some gloves,
Yeah.
some trash bags, like
No,
anything,
definitely. I got you.
anything.
So thank you, Lex, and thank you, Evan, for coming through.
Hold on, before they go, where can they find you at?
Yes, thank you.
You can find me personally, CEO Lexus Fernandez, Lexus like the car, Lexus, Fernandez with a Z. And when it comes to Soulita, you can find us. It all depends like when this drops, but right now it's Soulita Soap, but we will be changing it to Shop Soulita. And Soulita is Soul, Soulita.
And you can find me at Evan Delpeche. That's EvanDelPeche on Instagram. Don't have a Twitter. And at Shop Soulita on Instagram.
Yeah, so it's going to be www.soulita.com.
Word. So you heard it here first. They're gonna have the warehouse. They're glowing up, and I hope that you took something away from this episode. And like I said, Spark Up always has guests that come through with the stories and the wisdom and the gems.
Oof, what an interview.
That was great. That was amazing. Very powerful. Very inspirational. Shout out to them. I wish them the best.
Things
of
like
luck.
that always make me feel good. Something in my heart.
It warms your chest.
Yo, almost as hot as a shot.
Okay.
You get that little burn, like
Yeah, we get
but
it.
it's a good sensation. But let's get into my favorite part of the podcast.
Yes, let's do this.
Which is Pass Me the Aux. If you've been following us for a long time, you know how this works. We just highlight a song, book, or something audio that you've been enjoying. Well, you can take the aux first.
All right. So my pick is from the Justin Bieber project called Freedom. Okay. It's Justin Bieber featuring Pink Sweats, Chandler Moore, and Judah Smith.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I have not heard that yet.
It's really good. If you're going through a spiritual journey and like, I don't know, they're just talking that talk. And I really love it. I don't know who is on the second verse, but whoever's on the second verse is really killing it and saying some things that I relate to personally. And I really like the vibe on that. So it's very boom bappy, which I'm surprised by Justin. So I love it.
Interesting. Mine is Skip Marley featuring Ari Lennox and Rick Ross. Make Me Feel. If y'all know me personally, y'all know I'm into reggae, the whole vibes thing. So
that song is fire.
Yo, that song's just it's a feel good song. You know, when it's sunny out, check it out. So yeah, that was Pass Me the Aux.
So sorry. I thought you were done. All right, so that was episode 112 of the Sparkle Podcast. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, rate us, give us a review, help us out. Do what you got to do to put this podcast straight to the top.
And also, if you want to see special guests, put them in the comments.
Yes,
let us know what you want, who you want to see.
Thanks.
And let's try to get them up here. But with that said, you already know what it is. Your boy Banz alongside Cristina. We have the Sparkle Podcast.